What's up, everybody? Hope you had a nice week off. I know I did. It was awesome. So let's get started with the crib video. Video 36, Pythagorean Theorem and volume review. Your test is going to be on Tuesday, so please make sure that you are understanding of the formula and of everything else. These three formulas for volume I will provide to you, so they'll be on the board or whatever else. But we need to understand first and foremost what to do with these formulas. I'm always going to give you radius or diameter, right? Radius is half of the diameter, so if I give you diameter, just divide it by 2 or just cut it in half. So the radius is always going to be provided to you in some form or another. These two formulas up here, I'm always going to give you a height, so one way or the other for the height. Sphere, the only thing that you need is the radius, because there is nothing else to plug in. When I say substitute these in, substitute them in correctly, okay? And use your calculator to get the answer for you. So for instance, if I were to give you a question, I said, a sphere has a radius of, 4 centimeters, whatever. You just plug in 4 to the radius. That needs to get cubed, or has to go to the third power first. So anything with an exponent needs to get done first, and then multiply the rest of it together. You'll see your answer choices, and that shouldn't be a big deal. Over here to Pythagorean Theorem, though. Really quick review, because we've done this for too long. Remember back before we went on break, I wanted to give you a test before we went on break, but it was thwarted by that. So formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember, you always know what c is because it is directly across from the right angle, and it's always the longest side of the triangle. So for instance, there's two kinds of problems with Pythagorean Theorem. First problem is find the missing side. This one's pretty simple because the missing side is c. So I like to label my sides. Always label your sides. It'll make your life a lot easier. The smallest side, I just choose as A. I don't know why. It just seems like a good idea. And then the other side would be B, and this would be C. So putting it into the formula, it's 5 squared plus 7 squared equals C squared. So 25 plus 49 equals C squared. Remember, the square comes down, right? Because we're not solving for C yet. And I get here 74 equals C squared. But that's what C squared equals. I don't want C squared. I want C. So the only way to get rid of a square is to do the opposite, and it's to square root. So I'm going to square root both sides. And I'm totally okay with you leaving this as your answer. The square root of 74 equals C. But you also want to understand the decimal version of that. And the decimal value of that is about 8.6. Okay, so know both of these answers. That's just going to be good for you. Okay? One more problem for you, and then we'll be done for this video, is the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So for instance, I will provide a triangle. It'll look like a right triangle, but it won't have the box, which means that we don't know yet because we have to figure things out. So let's say that I give you measurements of 6, 8, and 10. And the question is, for converse, is it a right triangle? Well, I'm going to plug in the values that I know into the formula and see if it becomes a true statement. So remember, if it's a true statement, both sides are going to equal each other, which means, yes, it would be a right triangle. If both sides don't equal each other, even if they're off by 1, it still is no. It's not a right triangle. So let's try it. 6 will be A, 8 will be B, and 10 will be C. Again, because if there was a box here, it would be a cross, so C would be 10. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. 36 plus 64, and this is 100. Now this actually does equal each other. So 100 equals 100. This is a true statement, which means yes, it is a right triangle. Okay? So if this was like 101 equals 100, the answer would be no, because it doesn't fit. Okay? Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting back. Study this test on Tuesday. So we're going to quickly review on Monday, and then we're going to go for it on Tuesday. Okay?